Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. It's May 6th and I'm out here in the garden and I'm doing a little bit of work on the tomatoes. So let me show you something. I'm down here on my knees and what I'm doing is I'm trimming up these tomatoes. Now these are some of my Abe Lincolns. They're doing okay. They're still a little small. I've just come in here today and I put some bamboo support trellises here. All I've done is push the bamboo in the ground a little ways, and I take and run a wire on some T-posts on each end and one in the middle, and then I just wire them to them to hold them straight so they'll stand up there for sure if they've got wind and stuff. But anyway, what I'm doing out here in the garden, I am trimming these, but I'm saving something. I've got me a little bowl of water here, and I'm trimming off these suckers. Now, I did a video a while back, and it was a fail because I forgot one step whenever you start propagating these, and I had one person comment they wanted a follow-up to it, and I figured what my best bet was to do was go ahead and start over. And being I need to trim these up because you don't want any leaves real close to the ground, what happens is, and you can see these leaves have a little bug damage, might be getting a little blight on them, such as that from the ground splash up. Anytime these come down and they touch the ground like this, and I've done a lot of videos before, we'll cut them off. But these are some indeterminate tomatoes, and I don't want any suckers on here. So what I do is come in here and I'll prune these up and I'll pinch these suckers out. Now I went over this before, but to talk about suckers come out right where the leaf comes out, or the branch, and it comes out right here in this area. So you want to pinch those out. And on some certain types of tomatoes, Cherokee purples are one of the worst. A lot of times they'll send out a sucker out close to the top, and it'll outgrow the top. So you want to watch for those close. Make sure that you get those all taken care of. But anyway, I'm going to continue to do this. I have a few of those in this general area right here, and then we'll show you how to pot those up. And let's throw in a flower for good measure too. Okay, we've got all our little cuts here. Now, I don't need this many more tomatoes. I've got about 300 plants already, but I had done this earlier in the year. Maybe a month ago, I did this and I didn't have success because I forgot to put root stimulator on there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these leaves off. I'm cutting all these limbs off and I'm leaving the little top on here, but I don't want a whole lot of leaves because what this does is cause the leaves to take and draw the moisture. It's making a whole lot of photosynthesis, and it's not encouraging the root growth because it's busy trying to do the other. Now I'm going to cut this off. I'm not going to put it all the way to the bottom of the plant, but I'm going to cut it off about this long and I'm going to plant it real deep. So what I'm going to do is this time I'm going to use my root stimulator. Now there's a lot of different types of rooting hormones, which would just take and put this in here, and we're going to get some on the roots just like this. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a hole with this to ensure that it goes down easy and I don't have a lot of problems doing it. And then once I get it in there, I'm just going to push this down a little bit, and now I'll water it in. And it's going to be the same with all of these I'm just going to take some of the bigger ones out of here. You can root these smaller ones the same way. It's just like say you just don't want, if you're going to root this one, just leave your top and that limb next to it, and this will be fine. It'll root. But this time I'm going to actually make sure that I get the whole video done. Now you can put this root stimulator on all the way up if you want. It just, they will make roots, but you have a whole lot greater success when you take and put that stimulator on there. Now I'm going to take one more limb off of here because it might survive that way, but like I say, it takes a whole lot more energy for it to do that. Now this potting mix is pre-moistened here. This is not. It's a little moist. It's not dry, so it'll take water fine. But you might want to make sure it's pre-moistened. Now I don't need these, so if they die, I'm not really concerned with it. But for the sake of the video, I would like them all to survive. That way you can see as far as. But all I'm doing is these are kind of wet from sitting in there, so just rolling around in there, and then I'm bumping off the extra stuff. And we push it down, and we're going to water these in good because we want this to be able to take and get all this potting mix up to the next to the plant. And it's easy to see on here if we get good focus. There's little hairs coming out of here. All these little hairs will root. Everywhere where these hairs are, these will root into the ground, and they're all the way down to the bottom. So it's just a matter of encouraging them. Now I'm not sure, I didn't look on this bottle, but a lot of your root stimulators are just your P of the NPK on your fertilizer. A lot of them are liquid, and I would have probably planned that a little bit deeper, or lower, but I didn't cut it off. But anyway, I'm going to do the rest of these, and then we'll come back in a little bit and we'll show the progress of these. Now, once you put these in these pots, you want to make sure that you keep them where they're not getting a lot of sunlight. Now, what I'll do is I'll just kind of leave them here in my shop, even if the lights aren't on. They'll get in direct light, but I'm not so much interested in photosynthesis right now. I don't want to stress this plant a lot. And now my fan's on. What I'll do is make sure this is somewhere where my fan isn't blowing on it, because the fan blowing on it is going to cause it to dry the leaves out more and cause more of a problem. You can put these, I have rooted them before and put them out on a picnic table under a shade tree, which is ideal. They might get sun early in the morning and maybe just a little bit for just a few minutes before it goes down below the trees. But anyway, I'll finish this up. And this is where I'm going to put it here. My old trusty rotted picnic table under a big tree, which gives it plenty of shade. Once the sun gets really low, it will cast some on here, but it doesn't get a whole lot that way. This is May 11th, which is 5 days since these have been put in their pots. And as you can see, all 10 of them are thriving real well. They've just been out here in their little shady spot. So we'll give them a little bit longer and we'll take another look. Okay, it's been 7 days since these have been put in the pot, and we're going to pull one out of here just so we can see what's going on, which we have a centipede in there. I don't think I want him staying in my mixture. I think I'll get him out first. Okay, now that we've got that taken care of, we're going to look and see what's happened with our tomato plant here after 7 days. And as you can see, we have a nice sturdy root system at the bottom. Roots are starting to come out the sides here. And so in way less time than it would take you to raise one up from a seed, it just takes putting a little sucker into a pot and letting it root up. But anyway, if you like this video and want to see more, just hit subscribe, hit the bell button, and of course give it a good thumbs up there and share it. That really helps my channel. Happy gardening.